Alright everyone, welcome back to another ASMR video game pickup video. I said in the last video that I did that around the 16th of the month I would have a pretty big video game pickup video, and unfortunately one or two of the games I got off eBay, actually the final one came in today, the 20th, so 4 days late, but nonetheless we have a lot of good stuff to go over. I'm going to start with current generation stuff first, and then we'll get into the retro stuff at the end, because I have a bunch of games towards the end that you would think to yourself, there's no way these games are rare, but they are, and they're expensive. And they were ones that I was missing for my specific collections in the game room. So, without further ado, let's get started. First, we're going to start with the newest console out there, which of course is the PlayStation 5. And right off the bat, we have a regular copy of Assassin's Creed Mirage, Ubisoft original. Now, why do I have this when I have the collector's edition? Well, with major franchises that I collect for, such as Tekken, Assassin's Creed, Mortal Kombat, Sonic, Kingdom Hearts, etc., I try to get every single potential copy there is. So I have a regular copy, I'll have the deluxe edition, I'll have the gold edition, and I'll have a collector's edition. The only rule that I make is I do not buy the same collector's edition for the PS4 or the PS5. So for example, with Hogwarts Legacy, I have the PS5 collector's edition, but I will not buy the same collector's edition for a PS4. I will, however, buy all the past generation versions of the game in that case. So those are the rules I set for myself, and some of you may not understand them, and I get it. I have OCD and obsessive compulsive disorder, and you know, people like us with that kind of a disorder, there's certain things that we do that boggle the minds of normal people, you know. So anyway, Assassin's Creed Mirage. Become the ultimate assassin. Stealthily take down targets with visceral assassinations. Discover a tightly crafted coming of age story. I think I did that before. Said lightly instead of tightly. And then parkour seamlessly through a dense urban environment. So we have Assassin's Creed Mirage. Alright, next up for the PlayStation 5, we have Like a Dragon Ishin. This is I believe what's the word I'm looking for? Spin-off of the Yakuza series. And so eventually I will play all the Yakuza games. But because this has to do with, I believe, the Yakuza series, I bought it. So, draw your blade and join the revolution. Take up the sword of Sakamoto Ryoma in a search for justice, and take part in a battle that will bring an end to the samurai era and forever change the future of Japan. Go wild with 4 gun and sword combat styles, and take down your enemies with legendary battle moves. Looks like you're fighting a tiger here, which is pretty cool. So we have that. And then next up for the PlayStation 5, we have Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. The fates of 2 dragons. 2 larger-than-life heroes are brought together by the hand of fate, or perhaps something more sinister. Ichiban Kasuga, an unstoppable underdog who's no stranger to crawling up from the rock bottom, and Kazuma Kiryu, a broken man facing down his last days, explore Japan and Hawaii in an RPG adventure so big it spans the Pacific. So, interesting here. For some reason, this guy just reminds me of the pitcher Matt Garza. He used to play for the Red Sox and the Tampa Bay Rays. Matt Garza. I think he played for the Red Sox. I know he played for the Rays. Alright, next up for the PlayStation 5, we have a regular copy of Mortal Kombat 1. And again, why am I have this when I have the collector's edition? Well, if you saw the beginning of the video, you'll know why. It's in our blood. Discover a reborn Mortal Kombat universe created by the fire god Liu Kang. Mortal Kombat 1 ushers in a new era of the iconic franchise with a new fighting system, game modes, and fatalities. So you have an immersive story campaign right here. Fight through a brand new story featuring your favorite Mortal Kombat characters like you've never seen them before. Traverse the realms of Mortal Kombat, fighting off each season's invasion in a new single-player experience. And then cameo fighters. Choose from a unique roster of cameo fighting partners to assist you in battle. Now here's the thing. I am in Season 5, it just dropped, of Invasions. And there's 2 new nodes that I'm okay at video games. I'm pretty good. I'm a little above average, I would say, overall. But there are these new modes called time trials, where in each mesa you play as a specific character with specific requirements that you have to do to complete the node. So, for example, in Kung Lao time trials, all you had to do was use his hat throw and aim the throw of the hat, the angle of it, so it hit targets. Not hard. I liked it. It was pretty cool. Pretty fun diversion from the first 4 seasons. But then I got to the second mesa in the Tarkatan colony, and Natara is who you play as in those missions. And let me tell you something. There are 3 of them in the normal region of the colony. The hidden time trials are, once you beat Invasion Season Mode 5, you beat Dark Raid and the final boss, you'll have access to the stuff you can't get to yet. So I know there are more time trial missions coming up. But Natara's, the second one, is so hard that I literally gave up. And I looked online on YouTube to try to see how people have beaten it, and very few people have. Most of the comments are pretty much how I felt. They want to throw their Steam Deck against the wall. They want to call Ed Boon and say, what the hell are you doing? There's boycotts on how awful the repetitiveness of Invasions is anyway, let alone putting in certain nodes and missions that are just asininely difficult for no reason. So, in the third mesa, and I'm halfway through, there are 3 more mesas I have to play through to beat it. But Reptile, you have to dodge acid balls coming from the sky, and at the same time do certain moves that he does to raise yourself above the acid balls to hit certain targets. But if you don't hit the target in a specific way, the target doesn't break. And so you have a time limit, obviously, to do this while trying not to die from the acid. Reptile's first time trial, again, just like Natara's second, impossible. The second one I finally beat, which wasn't that hard, but the first one, just like Natara's second, is insanely difficult for no reason really whatsoever. Alright, next up, again, I have the collector's edition, but we have the normal version of South Park Snow Day from THQ Nordic and Question. Play as the new kid in South Park and join Cartman, Stan, Kyle, and Kenny in 3-dimensional glory to celebrate the most magical day in any young child's life, a snow day. Grab up to 3 friends in this 4-player co-op and battle your way through the snow-piled town of South Park on a quest to save the world and enjoy a day without school. It's a snow day, dude. So we have South Park Snow Day here. And then we have 2 copies of Tekken 8. One of the copies is a regular copy, and then the other copy is the Amazon Launch Edition copy of Tekken 8. And it comes with Jin's jacket controller skin inside. So, Fist meets Fate, 32 playable fighters, and aggressive new gameplay. That's what you have here. And on the back, same thing as this one. So these are the these are the PlayStation 5 games that I recently picked up. And now, let's move these here, on the 4 here. Now we're going to go to the PS4 games. So, we have a copy of Assassin's Creed Mirage, and on it it says, includes the bonus quest The 40 Thieves, with the PS5 upgrade available. Become the ultimate assassin. Stealthily take down targets with visceral assassinations. Uncover the secrets of 9th century Baghdad. Discover a tightly crafted coming-of-age story. So, PlayStation 4 Assassin's Creed Mirage copy. Next up, we have Capcom Fighting Collection. I have this for the Switch, but for some reason was missing it for the PS4. I was finally able to get a sealed copy. And by the way, all of these games that you'll see, the current gen games at least, are sealed. So here we have quality game improvements and enhanced features. Online play available for all games. And there's 10 classic titles. It looks like there's Darkstalkers Revenge, Vampire Hunter 2. I can't see what this is. Vampire Savior 2. Street Fighter 2, Hyper Street Fighter 2. The Anniversary Edition, Red Earth, Gem Fighter, Cyberbots Full Metal Madness, and Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo. So those are the Capcom Fighting Collection. Those are the games on this compilation. And then next up we have Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth for the PS4. The PS5 upgrade available. The Fates of Two Dragons, two larger-than-life heroes are brought together by the hand of fate, or perhaps something more sinister. Ichiban Kasuga, an unstoppable underdog who's no stranger to crawling up from rock bottom, and Kazuma Kiryu, a broken man, facing down his last days, explore Japan and Hawaii in an RPG adventure so big it spans the Pacific. So again, we have the lower gen copy of the game. And then the last game for the PS4, we have South Park The Fractured But Whole, and it includes a copy of South Park The Stick of Truth. And again, I have all the versions of this game, the Collector's Edition and the, I think, Gold Edition, but I was missing the regular base game edition. So, Coon and Friends Assemble. So this one, Game Informer says it was Best in Show of 2016, role-playing. IGN gave it Best RPG, Best of E3 2017. And then there's bonus content that says Tally Your Gaming Bud. So, from the creators of South Park, Trey Parker and Matt Stone, a dark shadow has spread across South Park. A new power is rising. And this time, an entire squad of superheroes must stand. Create your own superhero and use your incredible abilities to save the town. Develop your mysterious superhero backstory. Fight epic battles with a new combat system, and recruit other heroes as your buddies. So, South Park, The Fractured But Whole. And this seal is starting to come off and break, but it is what it is. Okay. So we have PS5 and PS4 games. Now we're going to get to the Nintendo Switch. Oh, no. Before we do the Nintendo Switch, we have a collector's edition I want to show you guys. Right here, let's zoom out a little bit, we have Yakuza 6, the Song of Life edition. Collector's edition here, the Song of Life. After Hours Premium edition. So it comes with, this set includes a hardcover art book, 2 bar glasses, 280 milliliter, 2 ice stones, 2 coasters, and the game in a collectible outer box. And then it shows you again. So here, the collectible outer box, the 2 bar glasses, designed with Kiryu's ferocious dragon tattoo. These bar glasses are the perfect receptacles for your beverage of choice. 2 ice stones, which are right here. One features the flame heat action icon, while the other has the Japanese Kiwami heat action icon. 2 coasters. Protect table surfaces with style by placing your glasses on top of official Tojo Clan branded coasters. And then the 64-page art book, featuring more than 20 artworks from the Yakuza community and a collection of official series art. And then on the back, how far would you go for family? Kazuma Kiryu returns from prison to a mystery surrounding his ward, Haruka. Devastated to find her comatose following an accident, he is at a complete loss to discover her son. In search of answers, Kiryu sets off to Onimichi in Hiroshima, where he finds himself embroiled in a Yakuza conflict that has lain dormant for decades. Inside a hidden world, Tokyo's red light district and Hiroshima's sleepy port town open to you with unparalleled realism and opportunity. Hard-hitting battles. The series' signature hyper-explosive combat has been rebuilt. A world of games. Built a Yakuza clan for team battle, go spearfishing, live chat with sexy girls, find cats, play arcade games, and much more. So we have a sealed After Hours Premium Edition of Yakuza 6 for the PS4. Okay. Now, let's get to the Nintendo Switch games. First up, and this guy was nice enough to, when I bought this, send me a protective case for it. Didn't have to do that, but I appreciate it. Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, both enhanced. So, Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition. Forced to leave your home under mysterious circumstances, you find yourself drawn into a conflict that has the Sword Coast on the brink of war. Soon, you discover there are other forces at work, far more sinister than you could ever imagine. Customize your hero, recruit a party of brave allies, and explore the Sword Coast in your search for adventure, profit, and the truth. And then Baldur's Gate 2 Enhanced Edition. Kidnapped, imprisoned, tortured. The wizard Irenicus, I think that says Irenicus, or it's Laurenicus, I can't read, holds you captive in his stronghold, attempting to strip you of the powers that are your birthright. Can you resist the evil in your blood and forsake the dark destiny that awaits you? Or will you embrace your monstrous nature and ascend to godhood as the new Lord of Murder? This also includes a Baldur's Gate Siege of Dragonspear. So we have a sealed copy of Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 for the Switch. And then next up, we finally have a copy of this. And this, weirdly enough, is the hardest game to find brand new with a United States E10 rating on it. Most copies that I've seen either on Amazon, I've probably ordered this game over the last year or 2 years from Amazon 7 different times. And every single time they show an American copy of the game, but every single time I get a PAL version. And as you know from following the channel, or if you don't, I don't collect European versions of games. I've made a couple of exceptions. One was a Mortal Kombat 1 and 2 double pack for the original Game Boy that I only thought came out in Europe. And then I was surprised to see a US copy of the game selling on eBay. So I immediately bought the US copy, and I'm trying to sell the PAL version. And Mortal Kombat 3 for the Sega Game Gear, I've made an exception there because it only came out in Europe for the Game Gear. And then the Sega Master System versions of MK1 through 3 only came out in Europe as well. So I'll be collecting those. And then I think I have a Parappa the Rapper PS4 that only came out in Korea. But anyway, so we have Aladdin and the Lion King, Disney Classic Games, the original 16-bit classics. The 16-bit classics return. Aladdin and Lion King play in full 1080p, new features and graphic enhancements, multiple game versions included, watch mode, skip to any part of the game, jump in and play, rewind anytime, museum mode, peek behind the scenes, and soundtrack, listen to all your favorites. So we have that. And then we have the Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed Ecto Edition. And this cover, it says glows in the dark. I have not seen if that actually is the case, but it says it does. So, includes the first 3 discs on the cartridge ready to play. Well, it looks like you have to download some of this, but the choice is yours in Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed Ecto Edition. 4 proton pack wielding Ghostbusters attempt to catch a ghost, haunting unique locations in asymmetrical multiplayer battles, online or offline. Whether hunting or haunting, the game is easy to learn and fun to master. So you have Slime or Be Slimed, use iconic gear and gadgets, play solo or with up to 4 friends. So we have Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed Ecto Edition. And next up for the Nintendo Switch, we have Hogwarts Legacy, Live the Unwritten. Hogwarts Legacy is an immersive open-world action RPG set in the world first introduced in the Harry Potter books. Now you can take control of the action and be at the center of your own adventures in the wizarding world. Your legacy is what you make of it. So up here, explore an open world. The wizarding world awaits you. Freely roam Hogwarts, Hogsmeade, the Forbidden Forest, and the surrounding overland area. Be the witch or wizard you want to be. Learn spells, brew potions, grow plants, and tend to magical beasts along your journey. Experience a new wizarding world adventure. Experience the wizarding world in an unexplored era to uncover a hidden truth from its past. So, Hogwarts Legacy. Next up for the Nintendo Switch, we have Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection from Capcom. Explore the Battle Network. So there's Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection Volume 1 and Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection Volume 2. Take control of megaman.exe and traverse the net to face off against enemy programs. Collect rare and powerful battle chips across 10 Battle Network games. So we have this compilation. Then we have a regular copy of Mortal Kombat 1 for the Nintendo Switch, which says it includes the Mortal Kombat 1 and pre-order bonus content. And then also for the Nintendo Switch, we have Mortal Kombat 1 Premium Edition, which includes Mortal Kombat 1 and the pre-order bonus content in the Combat Pack. And I believe they're going to have the same things on the back. Yes, they do. It's in our blood. Discover a reborn Mortal Kombat universe created by the fire god Liu Kang. Mortal Kombat 1 ushers in a new era of the iconic franchise with a new fighting system, game modes, and fatalities. The Premium Edition includes 6 new playable characters, 5 new cameo characters, 1 week early access to DLC characters, Jean-Claude Van Damme skin for Johnny Cage, and 1,250 Dragon Crystals, which is the in-game currency. Immersive story campaign, fight through a brand new story featuring your favorite Mortal Kombat characters like you've never seen them before. Invasions, traverse the realms of Mortal Kombat, fighting off each season's invasion in a new single-player experience. And cameo fighters, choose from a unique roster of cameo fighting partners to assist you in battle. So we have these versions of MK1 for the Switch. And then the last game for the Nintendo Switch, we have Taito Milestones 2. 10 arcade games from Taito's Treasure Chamber. 3 screen versions. So it looks like the games are Ben Biro Be, Darius 2, Dino Rex, New Zealand Story, The Legend of Kage, Gun Frontier, Solitary Fighter, Metal Black, Kiki Kaikai, Liquid Kids, The Mizubaku Adventure, and yeah, those are the 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So Taito Milestones 2. Alright, so we have gone through PS5, PS4, and the Switch. Now it's time to get into some retro collecting. Let me zoom out a little bit here. And here we go. First up, for the PlayStation 2, we have a greatest hits version of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Now, like I said earlier in this video, I try to collect for every major franchise that I collect for, every version of the game. And I noticed, well, I shouldn't say I noticed, I was aware that for a lot of these game franchises, I did not have the greatest hits versions. And the reason for that was because I thought to myself, I just need the regular versions, I don't collect greatest hits. And then I realized that I was being a hypocrite because, like for God of War, for instance, or, Assassin's Creed, I do have the greatest hits version of the Xbox version of the first Assassin's Creed. I think it was called Platinum Hits from Microsoft. And so if I have that, then I can't say I'll collect for specific franchises and not for all of them. So I am now on a greatest hits quest to find every greatest hits version of the games that I have. And this is just one of many. I have a massive video game haul coming, all greatest hits for all different systems. And so that'll be the next giant video game pickup video you guys will see here on the channel. But for now, we have Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. And as you can see, I got this pre-owned for $12.99. I'm not proud of that price, but it is what it is. Dare to return to Hogwarts. Be Harry Potter in a richer, deeper adventure. Explore an authentic, immersive Hogwarts. So, the features. Confront the mysteries of the Chamber of Secrets with advanced second-year magic, challenging quests, and dangerous adversaries. Greater depth, featuring wizard duels, very power spells, and Quidditch leagues. Take flight, hop on your Nimbus 2000, and freely explore Hogwarts. Challenge foes including Aragog and the fearsome Basilisk. Harry comes to life. His internal voice guides you. Interact with all your favorite characters, including Ron, Hermione, Hagrid, Dobby, and Gilderoy Lockhart. So you have new wizard duels up at the top. You have lead Gryffindor to the Quidditch Cup, control your spell power, and use stealth. Now the interesting thing about this, just looking at this game, and for any of you that have played this, I have not. I have never played any of the Harry Potter games. The first Harry Potter game I ever played was Hogwarts Legacy. But it's weird that apparently not only back in the mid-2000s when this came out, you could fly on your broom and go all the way around Hogwarts. But in a smaller game, they had Quidditch that you could play. And the biggest complaint about Hogwarts Legacy is they did not have that ability. So the question becomes, how can you fly around Hogwarts and play Quidditch from a game from 17 years ago, roughly? When did this come out? 2003, even worse, 22 years ago. You could fly around Hogwarts and play Quidditch, but in a game 22 years later, you can't. I mean, you could fly around Hogwarts, obviously, but you couldn't play Quidditch. Found that very weird. And there's really no excuse for that. Okay, so that was the only PlayStation 2 game we had. We're going to take a little break in the action. And if you recall from the last video game pickup video, I had some tubs that came in that were broken. And so I emailed the company that sent them to me, and they apologized after I sent them pictures, and they sent me out replacements. And so I finally have those replacements. If you recall, I have Sonic the Hedgehog tubs number 8 Metal Sonic. It was the first edition sticker on the package, and this is good to go. And then I also have the first edition of Scorpion from Mortal Kombat, and he is good to go. And here's his spear. And I have the other two, so I'm going to see if I can sell the other two for a couple bucks, get some money back. Alright, let's go back to the action. Now, for the Sega Saturn, this is one of the most expensive games on the console, and I actually have this game sealed, unopened. But it is Sega Ages. Okay. So, the trend-setting power of the Sega AM division comes home in this collection of 3 classic Sega arcade titles, presented together in arcade-perfect glory for the first time. Otherworldly thrills are yours to be had as you blast your way through 18 pulse-pounding alien landscapes in the trend-setting first-person shooter Space Harrier. If you're still begging for more, Afterburner 2 will blister your trigger finger as you thrust, blast, and barrel roll your way to a Top Gun finish against hordes of enemy bogies. Once you've proven your air superiority, jump into a hot red sports car and strut your stuff on the road in Outrun, the original multipath racing game. Whether on the road, in the air, or on other planets, these classic games will prove to you that no one does it better than Sega. And so, Afterburner 2 came out in 1987, Outrun AD 1986, and Space Harrier AD 1986. And this was Spaz, which was a division of Working Designs, when Working Designs was a company back in the day. And you could use the Arcade Racer for the Saturn and a 3D control pad for the Saturn. And as you may or may not know, the 3D control pad came bundled with a game called Knights back in the Saturn days. So, Sega Age is happy to finally have that. Next, we're going to go right to the PlayStation 1. And the first game up is See the Contra Adventure. And I'm not too happy with the fact that this case is cracked, as bad as it is, but all I can do is I can find a random case and switch it out. But anyway, this is from obviously Konami. Mission Critical. You control Ray, the only surviving member of the elite Contra Force. Blast your way through 10 levels to stop the alien hordes from infesting the jungles of South America. Huge Contra bosses, 9 different weapons of destruction like homing missiles, the shatter gun and the devastating super bomb. Multiple perspectives, side-scroll, third-person 3D, and overhead. Unique gameplay combines classic Contra action with simple puzzle elements. All new 3D environments like the weightless stage bring the Contra world alive as never before. Special training camp to hone your skills. So we have See the Contra Adventure. And then the other game for the PS1 is a greatest hits version, but interestingly, something I've never seen before. It's a cover variant of the greatest hits version of this game, and when I say cover variant, it's really the instruction booklet that's different. But this game is Tetris Plus, and this is a gold instruction booklet insignia on the instruction booklet. I got this for $7.99. I don't think it's worth anything more. It could be, no idea. The game collecting app that I go by doesn't even have this variant in there. It just has the regular cover of the normal black label Tetris Plus for the instruction booklet, but this is different. This is a greatest hits with a gold variant. So, here we go. Tetris Plus is stacked with 4 modes of play. Classic Tetris, Puzzle, 2-player versus puzzle, and edit mode. Journey on a quest that will take you to exotic places such as Angkor Wat, the Pyramids of Egypt, Mayan ruins, and more. Find the mysterious city with 20 death-defying stages of puzzle excitement. You can even design your own puzzle in edit mode. Now, back in the day, I had the Saturn version of this game. I still do to this day. But I remember it being very, very hard and very fun. Very challenging. The puzzle mode, the story mode, if you will. I think I got to like level 6 or 7, and then I just could not beat it. It's just that hard. But maybe one of these days I'll try to go back and maybe play some of this and see if I can finally beat it. Okay, we are at the tail end of the video, and this is the best stuff in the video. First up, we are going to go into Game Boy. And first up, we have a complete in-box version, pretty minty version, if you will, of 4-in-1 Fun Pack Volume 2 from Interplay. So you have Solitaire, Yacht, Dominoes, and Cribbage. Go Forth and Multiplay. Now, get 4 times the fun from your Game Boy system with 4-in-1 Fun Pack Volume 2. If you like Yahtzee, you'll love Yacht. Cut the cards for hours of fun with Solitaire. Peg your spot in the winner's circle with Cribbage. Or build on your skills with Dominoes. You can take these all-time favorite games with you anywhere, anytime. It's like having cards, dice, and dominoes in the palm of your hand. So come on, get ready to shake, shuffle, and roll your way to hours of fun. Convenient undo and take back options featured on Yacht and Solitaire. Play against the computer versus a friend on your Game Boy or even Game Boy to Game Boy via Game Link. Great new game and reset features let you start over whenever you want. Fun, user-friendly controls, play at your own speed, choose from 2 musical themes to accompany your play or none at all. And then here's some in-game footage. Enjoy a game of Solitaire and never worry about losing a card. Blast your way through the deck with the luck of the draw. Grab the dice and go on a roll. Just fill those poker-type categories. We have you pegged as you work your way to 61 or 121 points. It all adds up if you can make it around the board. And become a blockhead. This traditional block game lets you play up to 50 or even 100 points. And then it says this game pack for use with the Game Boy Compact Video Game System. So for the original Game Boy, 4-in-1 Fun Pack Volume 2. Next up for the original Game Boy, we have a very rare title to find complete. And the app that I have says this game complete is maybe $50 or $60 at the most. But this game on eBay sells, every time it's on eBay, sells for well over $300. And you may not think it, you may think I'm nuts, but just look at the sold items on eBay. We have Jeopardy Teen Tournament, and it is Super Game Boy Game Pack available. Now, I'm not just talking about the game itself, I'm talking the box and the manual as well. So complete, this is well over $300 people charge for it. So Jeopardy. Here's the answer. What's the question? Oh, and by the way, this is the last Jeopardy game I needed to complete my entire Jeopardy system collection with the exception of CDI. I don't think I'll ever find a complete in-box version of that. It's so hard. Everybody loves Jeopardy. And now teens can play this new Teen Tournament edition of GameTex Classic. We've crammed over 1,500 new answers and questions into this game pack in categories kids know about, from animals to U.S. states and TV trivia to toys and games. Jeopardy is a fun way to reinforce what kids are learning in school, too, with categories like synonyms, geography, the earth, and cells. Compete against a friend, match wits with the computer, or test your memory alone for fun. It's every bit like the fast-paced TV show. Daily doubles, Final Jeopardy, and the actual theme music to make you feel like you're really there. Here it shows you gameplay on the Game Boy Compact Video Game System. And then here it shows you gameplay on the Super NES using the Super Game Boy adapter, both sold separately, right down here. So, complete in box, Jeopardy Teen Tournament. Next up for the original Game Boy, this is also a very uncommon game. And the only reason I picked it up is because I didn't know it existed way back in the day. And when I knew it existed, I found somebody on Nintendo Age, a pretty cool guy. His name was Sly. And he lived about an hour and a half away from where I lived in Massachusetts. And he drove up to my work, and I gave him a pretty good penny for this game. But I think it's dropped in price considerably since then, or the person selling it has no idea what he had. And the reason I'm buying it again is because I had it before. But when I sold my collection when COVID hit, obviously that went with it. But the sequel to Dr. Franken 2, from Jalico here. So, it is many... I think this is a typo. This is interesting. The box says it is many years since Dr. von Frankenbone passed on. Should be many years. So this is either a typo or this is a fake version that I bought, like a reproduction and they messed up the back. I hope it's not a reproduction. I'll double check. Well, anyway, it is many years since Dr. von Frankenbone passed on, and Frankie is in big trouble again. The late doctor's castle, where Frankie had spent many happy years with his girlfriend Bitsy, is crumbling and badly in need of repair. If his problems weren't already enough, the electricity company have finally caught up with him and presented him with a huge bill. Frankie's only hope is to find the late doctor's lost treasure, a golden tablet depicting the image of Bitsy, famed throughout the land but now scattered and lost. Drastic situations call for drastic measures. Frankie has fled von Frankenbone's castle and is sheltering in the doctor's hidden chateau. Unhappy at the thought of an uncontrolled monster on the loose, the local villagers have locked him in. It is your quest as Frankie to search the chateau for clues to the whereabouts of the lost fortune, and to escape captivity so that you may search the estate grounds and beyond, from the depths of the ocean to the pyramids of Egypt. Only after much traveling may you return to pay off your debts. Frankie is back, with new levels and new challenges, but hurry, time is running out. And it shows gameplay on the Game Boy compact video game system. So this will be interesting to see if this is just a typo, horrible English, or I don't know. I hope it's a real copy. I'd be depressing. Alright, and the last Game Boy game is actually for the Game Boy Advance, and it's the last Spyro game I needed to complete my entire Spyro collection. Again, with the exception of me now trying to find the greatest hits version of games. But this is sealed. Very hard to find, complete. The only copy for 2 years that has been on eBay has been a sealed copy, and I finally bought it. But it's the Spyro Super Pack. Spyro Season of Ice and Spyro 2 Season of Flame from Sierra. One game pack, 2 amazing adventures. So in Spyro Season of Ice, an evil wizard has kidnapped all the fairies in the Dragon Realms. It's up to Spyro to save them. And here it shows, dust your opponents with devastating weapons. And then Spyro 2 Season of Flame, someone has stolen all the fireflies from the Dragon Realms. It's up to Spyro to find them. All new breath attacks, including Ice Breath. So this is a sealed copy from Vivendi Universal and Sierra, the Spyro Super Pack with 2 super games, Spyro Season of Ice and Spyro 2 Season of Flame. Now, for the Game Gear. This is extremely hard to find an American copy. You can find PAL versions for the most part. I've searched for probably 3 years. Again, I had these before when I had to sell my collection during COVID. But I had it before, but now I have it again. And it is a sealed copy. Again, very hard to find. I paid a pretty penny for this. And it's hilarious because if you look at the price of this game, this originally sold at Kmart for $32.76. I paid way more than that for this. So this is the American copy of Prince of Persia for the Game Gear, from an original game designed by Jordan Mechner. It's from Domark. So, Prince of Persia, sizzling action and adventure with the smoothest animation ever seen on your Game Gear. Locked deep in the dark castle dungeons by this evil Grand Vizier, you search desperately for the way to escape and to rescue the beautiful princess. This may sound like a familiar story, but you've never played one like this before. The awesome graphics and fantastic animation make the action come alive. Slash through 12 increasingly dangerous levels, solve challenging puzzles, find and drink magic potions, all to reach the top of the palace and fight the Grand Vizier in a sword duel to the finish. Just as you think you've won, you realize that the sands of the hourglass have run out. But you don't mind, because you get to play all over again. So Tengen here, it says exclusively marketed and sold in America by Tengen, but Domark is the one that created the game, and they're out of London. So the Domark version you'd see on the PAL version of the game, but here Tengen brought it over. So I'm happy for this. Finally have it. And then the rarest game of them all, and this is going to sound absolutely ridiculous, but it's true. Tiger Electronics. to try to compete with the Game Boy in the late 90s, created a system called the Gamecom. It was ahead of its time, it really was. It did not sell well because the graphics were, certain games were just almost unplayable because the graphics were black and white, just like a Game Boy's, but the game speeds were that much faster. You couldn't hardly see what you were doing, and that's one of the reasons it did so badly. But the Gamecom had like a pocket organizer in there, like a PDA function. It allowed you to connect to the internet back then. It was really, it had a touch screen. It had a stylus attached with the system. But for the Gamecom, there were a few games that I needed for my Gamecom collection, and one of them I never thought I'd ever have, because the game is so rare. When it sells for a lot of money. A lot of money. We're not talking 100. We're not talking even 200. We're not even talking 300. We're talking well higher than that. And I have a sealed version of this. The final game for the game collection video here. Here it is. Wheel of Fortune 2. Now, why on earth would this be worth so much? I have a feeling that they did not make a huge print run of this game, and Gamecom Tiger was obviously failing with the Gamecom, and when this finally came out, I have a feeling it was towards the very, very, very end of its life cycle. In fact, I think this might have been the last released game for the Gamecom back then. So here it is. 750 new puzzles bring all the TV game show challenge home. Wheel of Fortune. Take a spin, test your fortune and your skill. Features 750 new Wheel of Fortune puzzles. You can see there's a Toys R Us sticker on here. That's how old this game is when it came out. This came out in 1997. So it says easy touchscreen interface, great speech and sound, authentic puzzles created by the TV show folks. And I don't know what this last thing says, because this sticker from Toys R Us is covering it. And I really do not want to ruin this game, so I'm just going to leave it be. That's a shame, though, that you're not going to be able to see the last thing on here. And before we end the video, I forgot one thing. I am also trying to collect every Harry Potter Tiger electronic game that ever came out here in the United States. I know there are some that came out in Europe. Don't care about those because, again, I don't really collect European versions of things. But here it is. This is a sealed copy of Harry Potter mini action game Harry Potter. So you can pass through the devil's snare. Don't get scared and don't get snared. Use your wand to survive this challenge. Here it is on the back. If the Philosopher's Stone falls into the hands of the evil wizard, he can come back to life, destroy Harry Potter, and plunge the world back into a new age of darkness, chaos, and evil. But to reach the stone, one will have to pass through a series of spells created by the professors at Hogwarts. The first spell is the Devil's Snare. The plants rise up in a complicated maze to snare you. And you know, as I'm reading this, I just realized something. This said the Philosopher's Stone. In America, the Philosopher's Stone title was changed to the Sorcerer's Stone. And now I have a feeling that this is actually a European version. It does not say where this was distributed. It just says made and printed in China. Oh man, I don't know. I'm going to have to do some research on this. But if this is indeed a European release, I don't need it anymore. I don't need it at all. Anyway, the in-game graphics show don't get snared by the plants. The more you play, the harder it gets to escape. Use your wand on the plants. So, anyway, there you have it, folks. That is the latest video game pickup video here on the channel. I want to thank you all for watching. I've been a little bit busier than I thought. I will, in the next 2 days or so, try to film a video game magazine look through from back in the day, as well as I have some exciting book pickups to show you guys, but I had to buy them all over the place. One was in Canada, one was in London, but it's actually an American release, so they had the American copy in Europe. But I can't wait to show you guys those. But it will complete a series for me that I never thought I'd actually get to complete. So I'm excited for that. Stay tuned, guys. More content will be coming. The Munch Pack for April should be here any day now. I've already gotten emails saying they've shipped it, so shipped it on the 15th. It's now the 20th. Tomorrow will be the 21st. So you'd figure I'd get it on Monday by now. I hope, at least. Otherwise, I'll have to email them back. Where's the Munch Pack? Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.